Welcome to SBA Today for the week of February 4th. As always, I'm your host, Paul, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Tanya. Hey, Tanya. Hey,
Good morning.
On your 2025 bingo card, did you have a possible 2-week SBA freeze on there? I didn't have that on mine. You?
Bingo card. Like that's kind of a stretch there, Paul. I don't know. No, I did not. I did not know anything about that. Did not realize that was coming down the line.
That was crazy.
Was crazy.
I'm glad it didn't actually come to fruition, but and I think everyone else is too, but well, oh well, right?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the Kelly Loeffler SBA Administrator hearing. There are lots of great stuff. But before, I think you had a chance to watch and have a comment too. So tell us what's going on.
Here is my thing with that. I thought she was calm, cool, and collected. And I mean, she was walking into, I mean, come on, look at what she's been walking into as of late, right? You knew there was going to be both sides of the aisle that were going to ask some tough questions and whatever. And she maintained herself and actually got her point across so beautifully. So for me, I remember, and I don't know if this has ever happened to you, Paul. Have you ever walked into something and it's like, oh no. So I went in one time, it's on the personal side, right? With somebody, a couple. And I walked into it, thinking that we were going to talk about something, recent and, deal with some things, and got just freaking slammed with stuff from way back when that I didn't even know how to respond to, because it was just so far outside of my realm of where the heck are you coming from kind of thing. Now, she had a little bit of, she knew she was walking into it, right? She knew she was going to get some questions, but come on, man. Have you ever done that? And how did you do it? Did you crack under the pressure? I shut down. I didn't even know how to respond. I was like, where is this coming from? And are you kidding me? She did such a beautiful job, though. I mean, and there were some really tough questions out there, and you could tell that there was some energy behind them, and she just maintained herself so well. What did you think about that?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. She did a phenomenal job. If you want to watch an absolute craziness, watch every other person who was nominated on Trump's cabinet. This was rated G compared to those. But no, she did a phenomenal job. I was very impressed. I'm most importantly, and we're going to go into some details of things that were covered, but I wasn't worried. I felt confident with this person doing that, regardless of your political beliefs.
100%.
I felt
it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter the political beliefs. I mean, she handled both sides so well. And I really feel like she's going to come in and do some really good things in the SBA and things that need to occur.
I agree. So let's dive into some of this, because it was about an hour or so of good television. And if you're in the SBA industry and you're a nerd like me, please go to CNN or wherever you see whatever the boring channel is that gets the best reception, but no one watches it. Go watch that from there. Some interesting things about Kelly Loeffler, if you don't know that. So she helped grow a startup Fortune 500 company called Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T. I'm sure I butchered that. It's a crypto trading company and a subsidiary of a commodity and financial service provider, Intercontinental Exchange. Now, Tanya, I'm curious. Have you ever went to those websites and you read it and you're still like, what do you do? I got to admit,
do it every day when I look at our show notes.
Oh, jeez. I mean, you're probably right.
I'm kidding. No, yes, absolutely. And with that, though, the crypto trading company. Now, I find that really cool, because that's a direction everybody's going. And yet, think about it, okay, in banking. Do you remember when crypto came out? And it was, I remember, because I was working at Chase Bank at the time, and it was like, oh, heck no, we have nothing to do with that. That is like, do you remember that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was
And
just
so
like
she's gonna
whatever.
so I
It's
wonder if that's gonna come into
yeah.
play here and something's gonna change with that. Anyway,
Well, that'll be interesting.
yeah,
So yeah, so thought that was interesting, but again, I
yeah,
think what's
yeah,
really important to me in administrator, I'll be
right.
honest, is someone who gets business,
Mhm.
has a
Yeah.
business mindset. I will always be a supporter of somebody who's been there, done that, and then they're leading in that. So,
Well,
uh,
it's so easy for them to come in, Paul, and say, "We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that," and have no idea how it actually
correct.
affects those down the line. Now, you and I know, as do anybody out here watching, right? We know how things affect small business, and
Yep.
it might not be top of the line looking, and then all of a sudden it just tanks. And so, yes,
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it. And she was what, WNBA team, Atlanta Dream or
She was
whatever.
a co-owner, yeah,
Isn't
of the
that
Atlanta
crazy?
Dream. I did
Isn't
not
that
know
great?
that. I mean, she does kind
I
of look like
was
a basketball player. I'm just going to be honest. I bet you that.
very pretty one. Come on, man.
Well, absolutely, but I could see her playing in high school, college, or something like that. I
Yeah.
have no proof behind that, but that's my
And
two
what I
cents.
meant by that, the very it's just so nobody kind of like thinks that differently. Meaning her hair was all done. She's all when we play basketball, I don't know about you, but when I go to the gym, when I play, I don't look like no, no.
What? You don't look like this when you go to the gym?
No. No, I
Oh.
am not one of those that actually puts on makeup and does all that stuff. Oh no, my hair's in a freaking tight bun. I may be matching clothes, I may not. Yeah, it's a mess. Anyway,
So
yeah.
one thing that was very interesting is they always at the beginning of a hearing they put in any
Mhm.
positive or negative letters that they have received from outbound groups. So
Yes.
it was quite impressive the list of positive comments. They didn't read the letters or anything, but they did say that they received everything from Nagel to SBDC
Right.
score, all of the people that we know in SBA world,
Mhm.
from a positive recommendation. So that's again also a good
I
thing because when you
agree.
get if
Yeah.
hypothetically, which they didn't, but if Nagel come out and said, we don't like her, like that would be a concern. But it's all positive, and I totally support that.
I don't know. Coleman report. Why didn't you write a letter? I'm just going to say.
Well, maybe they did. It was a
I
long
know, right?
list.
And they just didn't.
Sorry, Bob, if I missed you.
It's like, come on, Bob. I didn't know. I didn't hear it on there. They didn't. They didn't say that that was one that they sent out there. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So also, what
Yeah.
does the next 100 days look like? Right?
Mhm.
Accountability needs restoration. You think? Yeah. It's been a whirlwind for the last 4 years, as we all know, right? Hasn't been
Mhm.
able to pass an audit for 4 years. Now, Paul,
Yeah.
if
Uh-huh.
you were the CEO of a business, let's say, right?
Yeah.
And the audit came in. After year 1, your butt's gonna be in the hot seat, right? And something's going to
Yep.
be happening. 4
Agreed.
years?
Well, and I'm curious, I think, and don't quote me on this, but I think it's with the inspector generals. I would assume would be the ones facilitating the audit. Um, but as I was listening to that, I was like, maybe I need to do some more research
Mm,
on the audits and what they failed on. And maybe
right,
I'll
right.
pick up on that on another episode. But it'd be very curious, I would assume, and I'm sure most people listening would be agreeing with me that it was probably regarding idle PPP fraud, like the typical talking points on that was
Well, and there
probably the
are
reason.
challenges around that. We all
Oh,
have to
for
admit
sure.
that was
Oh,
rolled out
heck yeah.
so daggone quickly to try to help
100%.
that who knows with that one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, but then the core 7A program needs oversight due to increased defaults. No
Uh,
kidding. Yeah, we do have increased defaults. What do you think about that one, Paul?
well, I think that one goes back to the
Mhm.
loosening of regulations that happened,
Yes.
that the Small Business Committee did not like. Joni Ernst
Mhm.
is head of the Small Business Committee.
Right.
I guarantee people that we're going to have a new SOP in the next year.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
think they are going to roll back some stuff, or, are they going to roll
yeah.
back everything? I don't think so. But some of it, yeah.
And I think we've talked about some of that too. I mean, they really did loosen up some things pretty well, which I mean, obviously as lenders, we love that because it helps with things. But as the back office and risk, when you're looking at
Yeah.
risk, it significantly increased the ability for things to default. So we did
Exactly.
not roll back. Like we've talked about that before. We did not roll back the same way. We kind of kept
Mhm.
doing what we were doing. So we haven't had that, but it's coming down the line, guys.
Most of my SBA manager friends here in the Pacific Northwest that I speak to often, the same thing. Like
Mhm.
I get it. You can be a little bit lenient, but you really got to be careful on the risk on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Because if you honestly, sorry, I say this, but if you follow the SOP and do everything to the SOP, your shop
Mhm.
ain't going to be around for very long.
Oh, and that's so true. And okay, I'm going to speak to the loan officers here. It is your responsibility, no different than your back office,
Yep.
to have risk at the forefront of your mind when it comes to what you're doing. Because you're not only hurting your bank if you do something that puts the risk or puts the bank at risk, right?
Yep.
You're also doing something to hurt that small business because you're giving them
Yeah.
something that's going to create a problem for
Agree.
them down the road. We all need to do our due diligence from us front end people all the way to the back end in order to try to do the best thing. So anyway,
Yep. And what was the last part on the 100 days?
return to work. Return to work. Okay, how do you think that's going to change the program?
I think we're going to lose some people
You think?
who are maybe 100% remote and have moved away from DC and now they're somewhere else. I think that's going to happen across the entire government.
Right.
We're going to lose some really senior people that maybe thought it was okay, moved away. It's kind of like the Amazon, approach.
Right.
But at the end of the day, too, how many buildings? I've been to DC multiple times. Hopefully you have too. There's buildings everywhere. And the SBA building, which I've been to, because again, I'm a total nerd. It's big building. Okay. Like if it's empty, that's real estate that, shouldn't be done or should be filled with bodies. But
It goes across the board. I mean, there's always pros and cons to everything. We all, I'm hybrid, and we all have our ideas, right?
yeah,
Of in the office, not in the office. And I think some don't need to be there, to be honest. And I think it absolutely creates less productive time. But then there's
mhm,
some that absolutely need to be there. And if it's going to help, then, go for it.
that's
So,
right.
how about you?
A few other little things that you talked about. Focusing on customer service.
That'd be nice.
What? Like, wow.
Oh, did I say that? I said that out loud, didn't I?
Well, here's the deal. I get focusing on customer service, and there are certain departments within the SBA that those people give the best service possible.
100%.
There
100%.
are others trying to get a human being is non-existent, and that is where I challenge the organization to focus some time on that. So
Right.
Kelly is also going to be donating her salary of $217,500, which is most BDOs on this listening to this probably make more than that. So that's very interesting on that, but I appreciate that.
I mean, I don't know that I see why, I guess. What do you think of that? I mean,
she's rich. She's worth millions.
Yeah, but she's still working, right? And I mean, is it if you're working for something?
It's a write-off, Tanya.
I guess, but for me, I'm like, if you're working for something and you're doing a good job and you're creating, jobs for others and all that, why would you not get paid for it? I mean,
I get it. Well, I mean, hey, if she wants to donate it to the SBA Today Show, care of Paul Long and Tanya Mazurek, we're not going to say no.
Hand out.
I know. It was also brought up. This one was very interesting to me.
Oh, yes.
It was brought up about nonprofits being able to borrow under SBA. They were specifically going after childcare. Joni Ernst and another person on there put some bill for childcare. And so that was one thing that I thought was very interesting. But they pretty much asked, would she support nonprofits using the program? And she answered the question in the best political answer possible, which is she's open to a conversation. And I was like, that's the right answer, because there's a lot of research that needs to go into lending to nonprofits. Because if you've
100%.
ever lent to a church before or a nonprofit, it ain't easy either. And cash flow is what cash flow? Like,
and then look at, so Paul puts out there, as far as for her donating her salary, it's the optics and signal she's doing the job for her own benefit. And I absolutely agree with that, Ray. And my point in it is, you deserve to get paid for what you're doing. I understand why she's doing it, and I think it's great. But yeah, it is optics. Yep. Agreed. Yeah. So then, veterans. She says she's open to better support our veterans. Now,
thank you.
I 100% buy into that and believe in that, as I think all of us do, right? Yep. Our veterans support us. They go out and they do the job that none of us are doing to protect us. And then they come back and they're just kind of thrown under the bus. And I mean, they're just not given what they deserve. So
agreed.
God help us. I hope she does, because I'm all for our veterans.
Agreed.
And they do so many of the small business and stuff. Think about it. It is helpful to give them a little bit extra for doing some things, because, they're trying to create their next step after being out for so long. They deserve help. Anyway, there you go.
Yep.
Sorry.
No, I agree. And there needs to be a little bit more of a fee discount. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
She talked about looking at efficiencies for cost and technology and organizational design, skill set training, increasing response time. And what I loved about it is she's like, there will be certain metrics and goals. Like a business? Shut up.
I don't have any metrics. Do you?
None.
I mean,
none.
I just kind of fly by the seat of my pants, and I'm like, we'll just see how things go.
Yes.
Yes, it's kind of cool.
And they really wanted to also focus on technology as well, which again, I get that. They mentioned AI a little bit as well, when, we'll see. But one of the things that was really interesting and kind of hidden, and again, I'm a nerd, but Senator Adam Schiff is now on the Small Business Committee. Now, that name should ring a bell. Back in the days, he is an attorney. He is very outspoken. So for him to be on the Small Business Committee with what they're doing with PPP and idle fraud, I think is very strategic. So I'm sitting back with my popcorn waiting to see what that looks like. So
absolutely. Well, we kind of know that's fixing to. They're going to go deep. They're going to go deep.
They're going to go deep.
That's what they're going to go deep. Happening. They're going to go deep.
That's right.
Anyway, I mean, I think, is that it for the show?
But wait, there is one last.
Oh, wait, there's more.
That's right. And that is, Tanya, congratulations.
Oh.
We have won the Coleman Podcast of the Year Award with Coleman Publishing. Yeah. So thank you very much to Bob and his team and those who voted for us.
And thank you guys out there for watching and listening and sharing. And
both of us enjoy doing this. And we're going to be heading down to Orlando to get our award. And so I just want to say thank you all. We enjoy doing this for sure.
And Paul, we're going to donate the salaries we get for doing this show to.
Exactly.
Oh wait, we don't get anything.
Right. We're going to donate it to Ray Drew.
We're already donating. We're already donating. Anyway. Okay, guys, we've loved having you. Watch us or join us again next Tuesday for the live version here on LinkedIn and or YouTube. Otherwise, at your convenience, go to any of the streaming platforms and you'll find us. Also, watch our SBA Art of SBA Lending and BDO shows. Those are great information out there as well. And other than that, we will see you next week.
See you later.
See ya.